Hi, my name is Shankar. I'm the founder of a digital startup, NaturalText. I have invented an AI that can analyze your data automatically. Just throw in the data, and our AI will find out the unknown unknowns, what you don't know about the data, automatically without any need for a previous data. You could ask how this is possible because a typical AI needs previous data or previous information in order to train it, label it, and then it will make its representations, and it is going to figure it out what is the human labeling is corresponding to the data it is there, and it is going to figure it out how the new data or new information can be predicted with the historical data. That is what the typical AI can do. But our AI doesn't need that. You don't have to go through all the steps. Just throw in the data, whatever you have, and it will automatically figure it out. And it is not only that, it can work on any data size, which means that even if you have millions of rows of data, millions of documents, or you have say hundreds of documents, or even 100 documents, it can work on any size of data. It can work on any language in a text, like if you have a Spanish or a German or a Hebrew or a Chinese or a Japanese, any kind of a language from left to right, right to left, it doesn't make any distinction. Even if you write one language in another script, something like in India, we used to write Hindi in a Roman, there is an English script. It cannot automatically figure it out too. And then if you have a data, something like you collect the data from a social media or from the internet, that data may have a spam or a not safe for work. You don't have to clean it. It can automatically clean it too. It can automatically cluster it, group it, and will show you what it is there. And the best part is that once the data is cleaned up, once the data is cleaned up and once the data is grouped, you will know and read the data. It is a human readable, which means that you can use it in your own databases. You can save it there. There is no lock-in by the AI. You don't have to bang your head on this thing that is binary model. You can just open these things and see where this problem is or which one you are missing and so on. So, and then it is all in your own system. You don't have to send us the data. I will send you a Linux binary or a Windows exe where you can run it in your laptop or in a desktop. It doesn't need any special GPUs or any specialty hardware or a server. And all these things happens in a very basic method. We use it called symbolic learning, or treating the data as symbols. How it works? So in a case that in a typical AI, once you get in the data must be converted or vectorized or encoded into numbers, some series of numbers into, so that you can actually do some calculations or a statistical learning or a statistical prediction on that. That has issues with it. That is why it needs lots and lots of data. It needs lots and lots of examples so that it can learn. If you let's say if you are using images, it needs lots and lot of images. Like this is a cat, and it needs say thousands of images of a cat in order to figure it out. Rather than you can just by throwing the data and once it, okay, here is the cat image, and can you do something about it? So this is, I call it as the symbolic learning. This is a very long academic research issue. People are still researching it and so on. But you could ask why this, this statistical learning isn't there. So if you take an AI, there are several types of needs there. One is that in a current AI, you need to know, or you want to predict the new information using your old information. Say, for example, you collect your data and then label it, cut the photos and label it. And when you take another photo, you want to tag that photo into whatever it is automatically without without anything you are doing it. That is a one kind of prediction or understanding. The other one is that you want to understand what is hidden in the data. So you don't know anything about it, just you want to know it. But once you know what is hidden in the data, you don't have to keep repeating the task. Say, for example, in sentiment analysis or customer review analysis or a customer complaint analysis. In that case, if you have the data, if you have the customer reviews and you want to understand why the customer is not happy and what issues the customer is not happy and what issues the customer is keep complaining about, once you know about that, then you don't have to keep doing that in a sense that if the customer is unhappy on what. So if the customer is unhappy about, say, a particular part of a product, or if some functionality is not working, or there is a lower grade material used to manufacture a particular, say, dishwasher, you don't have to keep doing that, because once that issue is fixed, nobody is going to make that mistake again. The same thing works in every other areas. Say, for example, if you want to understand what is the people's opinion about a fashion, so on and so forth, and other issues, something like in other domains, say in supply chain or elsewhere. Once you have the data come in, that particular part of the data would keep changing it. So a supply chain will get rerouted, people's opinion will change, new factories will be open, so on and so forth. So you have to keep updating the data, and the previous data goes out sooner than later. So in these areas, so each one serves a particular market, solves a particular problem. In our area, we are solving the relevancy, the accuracy, the cleaning up and the clustering, so on and so forth. That is why we serve what we call it as a underserved, untapped, unserved markets. So in all, the customer U gets a safe, secure AI, which is explainable, which is debuggable, which is human readable without a human bias, and you can run it in your system, keep your data with you, and keep the data in a legacy databases like a SQL or a NoSQL databases, which means that the entire data will be with you, and you don't have to worry about would the vendor lock-in comes in, whether the AI you have to keep using it, and whether this becomes something bad, you might lose the access and so on. You don't have to face any of these issues. And we also offer a free trial. If you want to take it, you can take it, and you can see the results within days, not in weeks and months as you spend it on the other typical AI. So if you have these problems, something like you want to understand the data, you want to understand unknowns from the data, you want to know what is hidden in the data, which you don't want to go in and look it up, or just you want to classify, you want to group, you want to rank what are the things inside the data, just get in touch with us. We will help you to solve your problem. Thanks for watching.